the variety, the diversity, the variation of on the theme. These instruments all then involve a relationship to the mouth, to the lips, when. And for example, typically you have this kind of mouthpiece. Regardless of the size, you have the same kind of extension coming in, narrowing down. So that's the more typical one. But then you also have these that are like just a slit instead of a round. And this produces an interesting and different sound in a unique kind of way. A thinner sound because it's a slit. This is a double barrel. Very simple, very basic. But this is, I think, because of the brightness and the power of the sound, I think this was for parades and processions. Because you hear this, and it actually has that whistle sound. And this larger instrument, because of the lower pitch, not likely to be played in public and more likely to be played in ceremony or in residence because of this kind of that would get lost in the outside. Just the vibration would not resonate. Then you have the big mouth pieces. And this is a 6-hole. Looks like a flute instead of an ocarina because the flute has an open hole. That's the difference between the ocarina and the flute you play through and it comes straight out. The ocarina you play and it's sealed, so it has to go around and then come out. And this is another example of a kind of instrument that I think was played in parades and processions as well, because when one plays it, you have to bring it up to your face, and the instrument itself kind of replaces the player's face. And generally, these are just 3-tone, 2 holes with 3 notes. My approach is really, at the beginning, is always very tentative to see how the instrument wants to respond or what kind of response it's having. And it's tentative. It's always kind of, it's establishing a relationship with the instrument. Without thinking too much about it. I try to let them resonate in me, use my body as a resonance, my head, I think those. So instead of just blowing out, I try to have it resonate.
In recent decades, anthropologists have begun to explore the unity of the senses. And how is it that the human organism can be understood to have some kind of integrity, some sort of integration? And one of the things that we're learning is that through ceremonial performances, especially through sound, and especially through musical sound, that human beings come to not only hear, they become to move, they come to feel, they come to see, they become to feel themselves as kind of integrated beings, organisms. And so I think that more research on music and the kind of collection you have here raises, in a sense, a kind of hope for the human community, that can its music be used to integrate rather than to divide?